man, in season, out of season, no matter what, this word has got to go out until the famine of the word comes. And it's only going to be made possible through the spirit and power of Yahawah,
Ba'ashem, YAHAWASHI, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kudash.
Which is all, glory, honor, and praise to the Heavenly Father, whose name is Yahawah, and the Son, in the name of His Son, which is YAHAWASHI. Double honors to the elders and apostles, better known as the Greatmillstone, okay? And Shalom salutations to the elect, 1/3, the 144. All right, the sincere men, women, and children. Those that are destined to be sealed and delivered, and death to 2/3, death to the rest, even the wicked. So here it is. We're in winter almost. Damn near, yeah, it is winter.
It's winter. It's winter.
And they got that saying, the dead of winter. Now, I was having a conversation with someone a while ago, and they were talking about, they read their Bible, their dad reads their Bible, but it was like, yeah, how, Christmas is coming and it's cold, but that's the birth of a so-called Jesus. And I said, yeah, how do people have 2 birthdays? And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, well, the Passover, was he not born on the Passover? Isn't that what happened? And a lot of these people are told that he was born on Christmas and then he died on Passover. When it's like, well, no, he was actually born on the Passover, which is in the spring. Okay, so this Christmas is just it's a lie. People don't really travel too much. There's a lot of travel restrictions during the winter. There's a lot of travel restrictions during the winter. You'll see it where planes get grounded. Boats can't move. Even roads are impassable. Okay, so when you actually get into the scriptures, you'll read that people were coming and holding up in in places that it was crowded. When do you ever travel when there's bad travel restrictions and you're able to have accommodations? So it's not the case.
This is Luke chapter 1. Luke chapter 1 and verse Luke chapter 2 verse 1, it says, and it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. And this taxing was first made when Cyrenius was governor of Syria, and all went to be taxed, every one into his own city. And Joseph also went up from Galilee, out of the city of Nazareth, into Judea, unto the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was of the house and lineage of David, to be taxed with Mary, his espoused wife, being great with child.
Espoused is another way of saying fiance, which fiance is a French word meaning espoused or promised or betrothed, is betrothed. So when you go into the scriptures in the law dealing with being betrothed, it means you're promised to somebody. So when you get into the story of Joseph and Mary, they actually had sex. They were espoused. They were betrothed. She was promised to him, and he just went in unto her before the ceremony before the ceremony, before the actual law of the thing could take place. He just went, and it happened before. And a lot of people in this world have experienced that, where you just meet someone and you get along so well in that first night of just meeting them. You knock boots, as they say. Okay, you rub skinnies.
Bump uglies.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, and that's what happened. So a lot of us will experience these real life scenarios, and then say, "Oh, but that couldn't have been the case with these people. That couldn't have been the case with Joseph and Mary." what it actually is, man. So you have a lot of people, you know, as soon as this whole man, the night of Thanksgiving, everyone's playing Christmas music, man. You know? As soon as Halloween's coming up, people are, you know, starting to get in that holiday bullshit spirit. You know? But here it is, the Most High is still bringing a terror and dread upon you. Which is a good season because it's the dead of fucking winter. The dead of winter means that there's nothing alive. Things are alive, but things aren't growing. You see what I'm saying? Things they're not springing forth with life. Okay? And then, you know, you have some asshole that would argue, oh, well, what about people are having babies, this, that? Yeah, okay, well, that's not the nature, the cycle of most nature. Most animals even have enough biological sense to not give birth during the winter, man. You know, you got large predators that'll go into like hibernation. You know, it's even YAHAWASHI said, pray that your flight be not in the winter, because it's a harder time to deal with, man. But that's part of that's supposed to be part of your labor of love, man. Okay.
All right. Luke 2:6. And so it was that while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered. And she brought forth her firstborn son, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn. And there were in the same country shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night.
You see? There were shepherds in the field keeping watch over their flock by night. When it's night, that's when it's coldest. Right? If it's winter, and why would they be out in winter at night keeping watch over their flock? If it's winter at night, wouldn't the flock be in a barn somewhere? Safe from the wolves and the sheep, so you wouldn't have to be in the barn with them. Now, in the ancient days, you would, just because it was warm. There was warmth in there. You had to put up with some smells, but it was warm. You know? And so that's what happened with a lot of people. They would get the only room they would find was in, you know, somewhere. It's like, well, Dan, you got any room? Well, we got, you know, a stable over here, like. And so that's what would happen. So in the winter months, do you ever get a huge influx of tourists in areas that are like tourist destinations? No, you don't. But when it's nice out, you can bet that Jersey Shore boardwalk, when it's nice, you got all those Guidos out there fist pumping, you know, gelled up and fist pumping, tanned up. When it's nice, you know, and that was the whole point of that show on that Jersey Shore was in the summer vacation. You know, they had a house right on the boardwalk. They worked on the boardwalk. They went clubbing like every night. You know, they'd go do stuff, and they're living and promoting that lifestyle that, hey, look, you know, party, 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 live it up. You know, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom. You see. So that's the spirit that they want you in. But what season was that when they were doing that, man? Was it winter? Hell no. No one comes out in the winter. You know, that's why they call it the dead of winter. And for that reason, that carnal mindset leads other groups like IUIC to be like, oh, well, you're snow dummies because ain't no one out there. There's people out here, man. There's people out here still walking the dogs and everything. People going to extended Black Friday sales and continue. That's the thing. They used to have a Black Friday sale, and it would only be for that day or for a few hours. And that's because everything was selling. People were buying shit, quality goods. Now, people aren't buying. And there is really no quality goods, and people aren't buying shit like that no more. So now they extend the sale for like a week or throughout the whole weekend. Yeah, they run the whole time. So, and part of it they'll say is because of so people aren't trampling over one another. It's like, look, the sale's just gonna start now, and it's gonna continue on, and they prep early in the year. They overbuy a bunch of shit, and then that'll just go on sale once it's out of season 2. And the scriptures tell you that, you know, victuals shall be so good cheap that people shall think themselves to be in a good estate. And when you look at victuals, it's really dealing with food, but it's also dealing with products, food and products. Victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth that people shall think themselves in good estate. Because when you got a lot of when you have a bounty of food, when you have a plethora of food and drink, you don't see there being any problem. Like right now, you know, there's a lot of places out here that are going without power, or they'll lose their water, you know. But up until that point, you know, they were living it up. They were on the internet laughing, you know, trolling people, you know, eating their Thanksgiving leftovers, having a good time, and then, oop, the power's out. Oh, fuck. You know, now they're panicking. They got to find the kerosene heater. They got to find, you know, some other way to stay warm. So you got to go out, you know. Maybe they're in their car, in their own driveway, in their car with the heaters on, waiting for the power to come back on. And, you know, you had a comedian, George Carlin, talking about how all it would take for this country to go, you know, for shit to get real is just take away the electricity. Because, and it's a very, very fragile system. It's like, you think people are, civilization is so advanced, but take electricity away, and you'll see how quickly this place will deteriorate. How quickly people will start, you know, raping women. You know, everyone knows it. Especially when a fool is telling you the truth. The comedian, the fool, when the fool speaks, and you people are listening, then it's like, damn, you really know this place is fucking done. Because then when a wise man speaks, no one listens. Why? Because he's poor. But the fool, who everyone gives money to for entertainment, they take everything he says under proper counsel.
This is from Yahoo.com.
Before you drop the ritual shall be something cheap.
This is 2 Ezra 16:21. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion.
See, even then, there's a great evils are going to be put upon this earth. And the Most High said, shall evil be done in the city, and the Lord hath not done it? He creates a light and darkness. He creates evil and peace. The Most High himself does all these things, man. Go ahead with the article.
All right, so from Yahoo.com, it says Black Friday becoming a shadow of its former self in the U.S. It says New York, the U.S. holiday shopping season officially opened with a deluge of Black Friday promotions, but the frenzied crowd of the past have thinned out with the rise of e-commerce. Companies in the retail, entertainment, and tourism industries once again tried to entice shoppers after Thanksgiving with a bevy of offers on a day synonymous with American consumer culture and notorious doorbuster sales that start at the crack of dawn. But U.S. consumers aren't buying Black Friday the way they once did. It says only 36% of U.S. consumers plan to shop this year on Black Friday, down 1% from last year and a decline of 23% from 2015, according to the Price Waterhouse Cooper survey. Just a few years ago, Black Friday had the aura of FOMO, fear of missing out event, PwC said. Now it seems more symbolic than significant in the pantheon of retail holidays. Black Friday will be followed in 3 days by Cyber Monday, a second high point of spending early in the season. Friday sales have prompted copycat versions throughout Europe, an effort that has generated no small amount of friction. This year's events prompted protests in parts of France, Germany, and the Netherlands that included environmentalist rallies outside Amazon distribution centers and human chains blocking malls. There has been little sign of that sort of subversiveness in the United States. Rather, the bigger emerging challenge for Black Friday has been shifting consumer patterns. You know, it goes on, but you know.
Yeah, and you know, one thing that I don't think the media is, it's not covering, it's not putting it out there that much, is there is a shooting at the Syracuse Mall.
I actually been in that mall.
Yeah, Syracuse, and you know that place. It's like it really depends on its tourism, because people only go there for the fucking games in the mall. There's nothing else out there, you know. And you know, this guy I was talking to, he works out there, and so you know, he had to close the gates, and he was like, man, you know, he was like, I was the one that had to run, you know, towards the danger to shut the gate. And it's funny because Edomites love to always like kind of like brag about their heroism. Yeah, they're like, oh, you know, in the face of danger, I went and I closed the doors. You know, and you got all these people in here worrying about their family members and they want to get out, or you know, whatever the case is. But here goes a lockdown, you know. And so you have all these scenarios taking place. So you have the shooting in Syracuse, and you got that stabbing in London, you know. So all this holiday propaganda bullshit, okay, is just another way for a lot of you fish to stay in the barrel, man. You're all celebrating some shit that doesn't exist in the scriptures, man. You want to celebrate so-called Jesus, this white Jesus, you know? That's a bunch of bullshit, man. You know, that's a whole bunch of bullshit. So here it is. They're showing you that, look, victuals shall be so good cheap. People think themselves to be a good case. But all this evil, the famine and pestilence, it's still going to reign supreme. It's still reigning supreme. See?
Verse 22. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall escape the hunger. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish the famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down.
Yep, and the cities shall be cast down. So the height of these cities, like a place like Syracuse, oh, it's known for this, it's known for that. It's like, that doesn't mean anything. That's not like, it's no protective barrier. Oh, Syracuse is known for this, that, and the third, so, you know, nothing evil could happen to it. Oh, Vegas is known for entertainment and a good time, so, you know, nothing bad should happen to it. Oh, this place, that place, you know, like they're giving some aura of protection. That's not the case, man. These cities, all these cities are going to be cast down. You're going to see that the greatness of the cities, because what a city is it's defiant in the face of nature. Oh, we conquered nature. This used to be a wetland. We altered the river course and all that, and sumped it out, and hardened the ground, and we built over it huge skyscrapers, and we conquered the earth, the water, and the sky. And these things last through, you know, seasons and natural disasters, and they still stand. Well, the Most High's telling you, He's going to cast down all these cities, man.
That's right.
Because all this place is really stolen, man, and it's got to be cleansed by the blood of them that shed it, as the scriptures say. So you have this time that a lot of these people are in of merriment. You have a lot of people that are trying to be in merriment, but really, when you look at what's actually happening, you got people getting visited by death angels, losing jobs, pensions, income. You know, and there's more than enough money in the world to fix all these problems. They could be fixed today, man. All of these problems could be fixed today, right now, this hour. But there's no money in peace. The way that these people see it, they don't see that there's money in peace. And the Most High is going to show them that they're dead wrong. All this corruption that they're trying to latch onto with greed, the scriptures tell you that our kingdom, the glory that we're going to receive, His glory, is going to greatly outshine this. So here it is, they're talking about, you know, trillions and, you know, we're you know, trillionaires and this and that. That ain't shit, man. That ain't shit. Because you're still stuck on earth with limited resources, man. The scriptures tell you, if it were not so, you know, I would have told thee. So what's that telling you, man? That's the planet Earth. And what do you think is on those planets? More resources, man. And that's all going to come and be made possible because of peace. True peace, true righteousness, man. This sense of peace that they're trying to create is a false sense of peace. There's going to be no peace for America, man. It's done wicked for so long. It's created hatred and evil for so long. America's not going to be able to reap peace. It's not going to be able to reap sustainability. Apostle Rama, he shared an article, okay, showing how the U.S. Times always backs up every U.S.-led coup, man. Every coup, okay, that the New York Times covers, they have like a pattern where they discredit the ruler. They say, oh, all these things happened because he was insufficient, and they do this blame game. They never call it a coup. They say, oh, there's when the democracy comes in, they say, oh, you know, there's a change in power, a shift, a transition. They never call it a coup, but that's what but that's exactly what happens. So you had all these documented cases that took place over the years in the article showing you that the U.S. Times, they're just controlled, man. They're controlled. And now you had Trump. You know, this morning I heard him on the radio. He's talking about he's gonna have a peace talks with the Taliban. So now he's you know, because he's the chosen one, you know. And it's like, man, how the fuck, like, you created this whole Al Qaeda Taliban thing, and you waited for your knight in shining armor to come in and be like, oh, you see, I created the peace, and we got the talk, and there's gonna be a ceasefire. He's like, and I believe it is gonna be a ceasefire. Oh man, hey, the time of wickedness is up, man. Right. It's played out. You can't go on, you know. You don't got enough time. You can't keep going on generation after generation, man.
And he's only doing that because that was part of his promise that he ran on the presidency. He promised that he was going to pull those troops out of Afghanistan. It's been like 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So he got like a year left in office, and he hasn't fulfilled his promise of pulling those troops out of Afghanistan. So that's why he's just saying that shit. He's not gonna do it, man.
Yeah, it's like Vietnam. This is the new Vietnam, man. They can't pull out, you know, because they want all those resources. Same thing with Bolivia. What they wanted was the lithium. They wanted the lithium from Bolivia. It's resources, man. They didn't want the indigenous people to be able to rise up and trade. And that's what the U.S. Times always does. It says, oh, they're in bed with Russia. The Kremlin had strings in it. And that's always been America's big thing. Communism. You know, their biggest threat to America, they say, is communism. You know, oh yeah, that's but it's so dumb of America, because it's a republic, but it's a democracy at the same goddamn time. And the scriptures tell you a house divided cannot stand. So what the fuck are you? Then you got Hillary Clinton, you know, saying one thing, but, you know, 10, 20, 30 years ago, she was saying the exact opposite. We're not going to build a wall. Maybe it's a fence. And now this bitch is all about building a wall. She's talking about labor wages, and she's just constantly back and forth, changing her rhetoric for the demographic that she wants in her pocket. Yeah, they don't have no allegiance, but to their own, what's the word? Popularity, which is their own bellies, fulfilling their own lust. Their popularity is what determines what they'll be. So if there's a man, like this one comedian was talking about, he called someone a tranny. He says he can't even call him tranny. He's like, but isn't tranny fucking short for transgender? It's like a transmission. It's like, what if I'm talking about a transmission? Isn't a tranny short for a transmission? It's the same shit. So he's like, oh, you can't call people tranny no more, but it's short for transgender. I gotta say that whole fucking word now? It's just, this whole world has gone to shit, man. Go ahead.
This is Numbers 35 and 33. So shall ye not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it.
Yep. So who shed the blood on this land? Manifest destiny, man. Manifest destiny is a so-called white man saying that they have rights and privileges from the Bible itself to take over this land with brutality. And so that's exactly what they've done. And that's why the so-called Native American Indian, they don't have a culture no more. Their diet, they don't even know what the fuck their diet was, because you moved them from a land, you put them on a reservation away from their own indigenous roots, and then you demand of them, well, share with us your culture. Well, we were given flour, and oil, so we made this thing and we call it fry bread. We were given beans, right? So we got this chili now. We got these Apache tacos. We call them Apache tacos. It's just fry bread with chopped up shit. Yeah. And so you see that all the time. You go to a native, really native cuisine is fictional. You know what I'm saying? Like, because all you can do is research what the ingredients were, what they had available to them at the time, and how accurate is that. But the way that they prep their meals, you won't really fucking know. So that's why a lot of this native cuisine, it's a fusion food. It's a take on a soup. It's a take on an oatmeal. It's a take on a hot dog, a fucking hamburger.
Their actual cuisine probably was more so like a Issachar and whatnot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I mean,
not exactly, but
yeah, but what
closer to that then?
Yeah, but what even is that though? You know what I'm saying? Because it happened to them too, where they were killed, massacred.
Well,
slave banded in certain places.
I've seen this. There's this YouTube channel called Weird History, where they go into different time periods and bring out like weird shit that they did, those civilizations did. And one thing they said with the Aztecs down there in Central America, like Guatemala and southern Mexico, Guatemala, that region. They were saying that part of their staple of foods was corn. They invented tamales. Squash. Other type of foods and whatnot. But I was thinking like Gad's fucking diet was probably similar to what the Aztecs was, because that was before.
That's what I said. We can know what the ingredients were, what the food was, but how they're actually prepping it, it's a fusion. That's why it's a fusion thing. That's why it's a fusion, because out of, I think there's like 600,000 restaurants, known restaurants already, right? And less, I think it's like less than like. It's less than 1%. It's like 0.06% are Native American restaurants. Okay, and how many of those are actually like really Native owned or operated? Not a lot of them, because they'll go off of their mother's side and not their father's side. So then that small percentage even gets knocked down by like 75% of whatever the fuck that is. You see? But yeah, like the brother's saying, like the Aztecs or the Mayans, they were known for growing their corn, their beans, and the tomatoes all on the same, in the same patch of ground, because the beans and the tomatoes would use the corn stalk to grow. Yeah, for its shade. But the thing is, but what happened with that, why a lot of them went into famine, was because it was eating up too much of the minerals and the nitrates in the earth. So when you saw those movies in Apocalypto, you saw like muddy fields where they were like they're trying to water the earth, you know. But the corn was still dry and dead, even though the ground looked like it was moist. They weren't observing the land Sabbath. They would build these large structures and then eat themselves into famine, and then they would be migrating around, building and rebuilding over their own temples, and being like, oh, you know, the guys like scaring the fuck out of themselves, you know what I'm saying?
Like over 600 guys.
Yeah, we gotta kill each other, because
right. And so they're getting heavily into just demonic shit, human sacrifice, bloodletting, body scarring modifications. You see what I'm saying? So there's all this wickedness, man. So blood, it defiles the land, and it can't be cleansed except by the blood of him that is shedded. So we have a huge loss of history, you know, that we can only assume and imagine, you know, and it's evident today. So meanwhile, you got all these people celebrating their good times, their happy, jubilant times in the dead of winter. And then you have the indigenous and the minority people who are like, man, this is a fucked up reminder of what was happening and what was going on. You see? So it's just a cycle that's not going to end until America's destroyed.
Jeremiah 17:4, it says, and thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever.
Yeah, look, man, everything we're doing is a rehearsal. We're rehearsing righteous acts. A rehearsal, it's not the final play. It's not a perfect rendition. You're rehearsing to be perfect. Okay. Read that again. Oh yeah, so like discontinue from their heritage. Yep. Right, so here it is. Even Dr. Satan. Even Dr. Sabi, even he said, you know, the diet of the Negro is not the diet of the Asian or the Caucasian. You know, the diet is different. The food is different because of what's you know, he's going into he's going into Hamite cuisine, because he's all about Africa bullshit. We don't come from Africa. The scriptures tell you that Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all, man. That's in Galatians. I think it's like 6:20 or 5:20 or something. It's up there. Okay. Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is mother of us all. That's the garden that was eastward in Eden. Okay, the land of milk and honey. And you can see that when it's given over to wickedness, to corruption, the land itself is corrupted. So we've discontinued from our heritage. Man. Matter of fact, when you really look at what corn is supposed to look like, it actually looks like wheat. When you look at what a watermelon is supposed to look like, the inside of it looks more like a squash, you know? Food has changed so much. I mean, even fucking bananas aren't the way they're supposed to be.
Right.
Everything that we know, that we think we know, is actually a fucking lie, man. That's why this truth is able to set you free.
Galatians 4:26, but Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all.
Mm-hmm. You see? That's where civilization and life comes from, man. Not fucking Africa. Why? Because of a fertile crescent? It ain't so fucking fertile now, is it? And that shows you the power of the Most High, that He can take something make it great in power, and then turn down the volume on it. Turn up the distortion like a guitar speaker. Give it more distortion. Give it more bass, less treble. He can play with those switches how he wants. And so that's what's happening. So now it's America's turn to get turned down, man. It's Edom's turn to get turned down. And it's not a thing that people want to hear, man. Okay? But that's just the reality, and that's the truth of the case. America has to pay for everything that it's ever done, man. And you're seeing it take place little by little. It's getting weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker. The scriptures even tell you that. Look how much more the world shall be weaker with age, and men shall be weaker with age, man. Here it is, if something got older, it was supposed to get better in quality, like wine. Or men, the gray hairs to men are showing a sign of wisdom. Or like when you age cheese, you know, it's like, oh, it's got a sharper taste, you know. You age meat. Oh man, this is good stuff, you know. Things are supposed to get better with time. But in the hands of the wicked, time is decay. That's why the scriptures say, destroy them which destroy the earth, man. Everything that he's been given under the sun, the earth given into the hands of the wicked, and what he's done with it is he's totally corrupted this place. He's put death on it. He's casted death and hell upon this place, man. And that's why the scriptures tell you in Revelation that when we saw this place, when this place is to be seen burning, it says death and hell were casted into it. Death, corruption, because death is going to be conquered. Oh death, where is thy sting? It's going to be conquered for us, but the other nations, you guys, you know, you're going to have to die and come back. You're not going to live forever, man. You don't get that reward. That's for us, man. And that's so people can know, be like, is he really like, you know, is he really like 900 years old? Because he looks like he's about 14. He looks like he's 18, like he's 23. And these people will know with time, as they get up in their 50s and 60s, and if they live that long, they're all hunched over, walking around and shit, and they'll still see us like, you know, all youthful and everything. They'll be like, man, what the hell? I guess it's true. Because that's one thing with people in carnality, because they're not going to be given faith. They're not going to be given that gift of faith. They'll always be given the gift of disbelief and incredulity. That's why the scripture mentions that. Fear not the incredulity of them that trouble you. They're, just because, you know, shall their unbelief make the faith of the Most High without effect? God forbid, man.
This is Revelation chapter 6, verse 4. And there went, verse 3, and when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, come and see. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword.
Esau, Edom. That's reincarnated from Cain. And Cain's blessing, was it not the sword? Esau's blessing, because Cain and Abel is the story of Esau and Jacob. It's the same thing, man. So now it's all these prophecies are speaking in the end, like the scripture says. In the end, it shall speak and not lie, man. This word is accomplishing what he has proposed from the beginning. So this is the time that we're in, is the time of revealing. And so more and more people are waking up and finding out the so-called white man is the devil, man. No matter what you do, what you get involved in, where you go to live, you're gonna have to come face to face with this devil at some point, and he's gonna show you his fangs, man. He loves to show off that forked tongue and those fangs. He can't help it. I mean, naturally, as someone whose power is deception, you gotta talk to be able to deceive people. In order to deceive someone, you gotta talk. You gotta say something. You gotta open your mouth and speak. And when he speaks, you see those fangs, man. You see that forked tongue. and he's tried for a long time to hide his secrets. But then it gets to a point to where, you know, even as a kid, being mischievous, you know, you did something and you're like, everyone's trying to figure out what it was. At some point, you want to take credit. It's that Joker syndrome. You know, hey, Bats, it was me. You know? And that's what this devil's doing. He's letting all of his secrets go. You had this show called The Masked Magician, where this guy was revealing how all the magic tricks are done and how they're all shown. He would do a magic trick, right? And then he'd show you how it was just it's a prop. The power's in the prop. And they made movies about that, like
Illusionist.
The Illusionist.
What's
Prestige.
another one? Prestige. Yep, that's it.
You know, and they show you how it's all just props. You know, but this one guy, he actually made a machine that was like it was cloning himself, and he was killing his clones. And he had hella fucking clones, man, because he was doing it so much. And he didn't know what to do with the fucking bodies. And he just was hanging on to them in the basement. Madness. See, but at some point, the truth's got to come out. And so that's what's happening. We're seeing the truth on this devil come out. Ain't that the Christmas spirit? Unwrap that shit, man. Okay, so look, there's plenty of things that are going to continue to take place. Meanwhile, you got this group, Foki, we're over there, you know, they're saying, you know, we didn't go nowhere, we just stopped uploading videos, we stopped putting up content. Well, why the hell would you do that, man? And the first thing you do when you come back is you start making fun of the elders and apostles, you know? And part of the reason really why you stopped making videos is because you don't want to get corrected. And all your bugged out breakdowns, man. But really the Lord, YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, they already know that you're quitters, man. That you won't continue to do the work, you know? It's not just doing the work, you gotta do it willingly, man. You know? The scriptures talk about that. If I do this thing willingly, I have a reward. But if against my will, a dispensation. It doesn't hold the same value, you know.
This is pertaining to Esau. Jeremiah 49:7. Concerning Edom, thus saith the Lord Yahawah of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? Because you said like a magic show, all the tricks is exposed.
Yep.
Yeah, that's one.
Yeah, where are the wise men at, man? You know, all the smart, so-called smart people, they're dead and gone, man.
Yep. Verse 8, it says, flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Dedan, for I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him, the time that I will visit him.
Yeah, so this hasn't happened yet, man. This is in Jeremiah, it's still talking about it. And Herod was a known Edomite. You mean to tell me he was the last Edomite walking around? So the judgment, the calamity of Edom, which is what? Extinction, still has to come upon their head, man. It hasn't taken place yet. If that were to take place, then we would be in the kingdom. Jacob would have all nations serving him. And that's not taking place. There would be peace on earth. There wouldn't be turmoil and pestilence. Matter of fact, where's the account of that great fire that was supposed to clean the earth like the worldwide flood? Wouldn't there be evidence of man, when there's a huge ass fire, there's evidence of it, man.
Last 2 summers ago. When Oregon was on fire, what was that? BC was on fire.
Yep. This whole Cascade Northwest corridor, man. When it gets to burning, it is burning, man. So where's the evidence of a worldwide fire, man? Where's the evidence of something that, like, the fire was so big, if you could see it from space, there would still be remnants of a big ass fire here. There'd be huge deposits of this or that in this area or that area, man. So these Christians, they can't answer those questions, man. Because then it doesn't matter. Jesus is blood. It's all about love. That's the answer. And that's just not an answer. That's not an answer. That's an escape.
Verse 9. If grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some gleaning grapes?
Right. If grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? Was it not customary? Okay, was it not customary to not pick your whole field? You would leave some for the poor.
Yeah, the house.
Yeah, you would leave some for the poor, the widow, whoever needed some. I mean, hell, even so the birds and the other animals could eat it, and they'd spread the seed for you. Then you would have, a wild olive branch or a wild whatever. You would have things in the wild. That's how a lot of fruit trees get spread out in nature, is you get fruit bats. You get animals spreading seed mixed in their dung, man. But Edom, his attitude with anything is, you plant all of it, you take all of it. Their form of gleaning the grapes or leaving some is in their profits. Is I'm going to donate to charity X amount of money. I'm going to donate this to that or that. But really, they're just doing it for a write-off to hold on to more money. It's not for the intended purpose, man. So this modernization of the world it kills humanity. What you call humanity, what you think humanity is, modernization of this world has done away with it.
Verse 9, if Jeremiah 49:9, if grape gatherers came to thee, will they not leave some gleaning grapes? If thieves by night, they will destroy till they have enough. But I have made Esau bare, I have uncovered his secret places, and he should not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren, and his neighbors, and he is not.
And see, Esau is not spoiled. So what has he been done away with? Everyone else around him is spoiled, meaning they're fucked up, they're destroyed, they've been robbed. When you look everywhere the so-called white man is gone, has he not destroyed people's societies? The Japanese whalers, fuck that up. The Chinese and their Silk Road, fuck that up. The Aborigines and their way of life, fuck that up. All you so-called Asians, he fucked all that shit up. You so-called Middle Easterners, fucked all that up. You so-called Indians, Elamites, the British Empire came, fucked you all up. So-called Mexicans, Negroes, you name it. Everywhere, everyone's fucked up except for what? Except for him. The man without a culture, the bastard of the world, Captain Bastard. Okay, he's created his own. We're all wearing his suits. We're all driving his inventions, the airplane, the automobile. Everything that he's gotten credit for. Henry Ford and the Wright brothers, sliced bread. He takes credit for all these things and makes them a big fucking deal.
This is John 10:10. The thief cometh not, but for to steal and to kill and to destroy.
Yeah, what's the intended purpose of a thief? To kill, steal, and destroy. That's the intended purpose of a thief. He has no other reason on this planet other than what? To destroy lives and societies. And that's what we've seen take place. So it's telling you the thief, it's like a no-brainer. The thief cometh not, he's only coming to do one thing. Kill, steal, kill, and destroy. Why are you surprised?
I'm come that they might have life and that they might have it more abundantly.
Right, is he saying that he's coming so that the thief might have more life and have it abundantly? Is that how we're supposed to read that? Is that my understanding? Yeah, The Savior of Israel is coming so that the thief can prosper even more. I mean, that must be how they look at white Jesus, like, yeah, we're white, we fucked all this shit up. But look at our Savior, he's coming to give us more. It's bullshit, man. See, that's why reading comprehension is key.
Yeah.
Someone will read that and be like, well, what's that really saying? See? No, it's contrary to all that. Yahusha is like, no, this is what the thief's coming to do, but I'm coming to put an end to all that shit. And when he comes, it tells you in Isaiah that he's coming in his white apparel, but it's going to look like he was, like he just jumped in a vat of wine and started stomping around. The
Like
bloody sword.
Like they do, like the Spartans, what they would do with their infants, they would bathe their infants in wine, because they believed that it would toughen up their and make them stronger, versus initially water. You bathe in water or infant in water, firstborn. They did it with wine. Yeah, you would think the outside, symbolically, you would think he would, like the brother said, just dove into a whole bunch of red wine. Micah 2:1, it says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it. They practice it because it is in the power of their hand.
Yep. You see? It's in the power of the hand. Was the earth not given into the hands of the wicked? Who is the wicked on the planet? It's Edom. He hasn't gotten his judgment yet. He's still waiting to get judged. The Most High hasn't even fully. He's only judged us. He hasn't judged these other nations, man. That's why they've been able to get away with doing everything under the sun. Nothing ever happens to them. The things that happen to these other nations come because of their own foolishness and pride. Oh, we want to live on this island with hella earthquakes and tsunamis. And then we're going to believe that a Godzilla, because of our radiation, is going to create this thing. You know? Everyone wants to live near the fucking water for why? I don't fucking know. It's really because the arrogance of men. You know, ever since the time of the ark, we were supposed to live more inland, man. For some reason, people want to stay clumped together in big cities, and everyone wants to be near the water. Like, oh yeah, every city you go to, they have some sort of like water, you know, lake. Oh, we got this lake, you know, a pier around a lake, or you know, a boardwalk or something. You know, and then you know, in states that are in the middle without that shit, no one goes over there. Fuck you guys. You know, yeah, the breadbasket states. No one's worried about that shit. You had who was the comedian? I think it was Daniel Tosh. He was talking about, like, you know, if Al Qaeda, if they like flew over some of these Midwest states, they'd be like, damn, someone fucked them up. Like, we don't gotta touch them, you know, like they're already yeah, desolate, man. Fuck them. You know, there's another comedian talking about, like, you know, these states, these corn states and shit. Like, you know, people got all fucked up about 9/11, but you know, living in these corn states, it's like what? People are gonna come steal the corn. They're gonna drive a tractor into the raisin brand, and now they only got one scoop of raisins. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? Oh, you know, that was Patrice O'Neal, man, and he was talking to Canada. You know what I'm saying? But that's how Americans think. They're like, oh, all this shit's precious. No, man. That's why you have those nuclear target zone maps. The nuclear target zone maps, if you notice, majority of them are around the coast, because that's where the majority of civilization is, and the scriptures talk about that. The Most High taketh up the isles as a very little thing, because it's a beautiful place. It's coastal living. A lot of people are there, but if you knew the personality of the Most High, He doesn't care about abundance. He chose Israel because we were fewest of them all, man.
Amos 3:2, it says, you only have known of all the families of the earth. All right, I'm sorry. Hear this word that the Lord Yahweh has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth, therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities.
Woo! Hey, look at this. NFL star Terrell Pryor in critical condition after being stabbed in Pittsburgh. You see?
Yeah.
All these stabbings and all this shit that's going down.
Damn.
Through.
the moment.
Yeah, dude's through, man. The moment. You see? Hey, look, man, that's you. If you don't got business outside, stay the fuck inside, man. You ain't got no business being out. Don't fucking be out there. You already know what's out there. Death, destruction, famine, pestilence, evil. You want to go be around it? Oh man, you got to pick your battles. You know, every now and again, it might, you know, break the monotony. Maybe go do something real quick. Get the fuck back inside. But choose what you're doing. Don't go to no satanic concert. That's stupid. You know, what are you're gonna be there condemning people? You're gonna get jumped by all those hillbillies, man. Like, what are you doing? You know, you gotta be smart about that. If you're gonna go do something, you know, do something smart.
This is John 17:15. I pray not that thou shouldest take them out of the world, but that thou shouldest keep them from the evil.
Yep. So we're kept from the evil. Does that mean that you tempt YAHAWASHI? No, that's why I was making that point. You don't go to a Satanist concert and start, you know, standing up for the truth and righteousness' sake. Like, you went to the den. Like, did Daniel choose to be in a lion's den? Was he like, you know what? I'm gonna go in here. Fuck you guys. Like, I know what I'm doing. No, he was put there. So we're kept in this place of evil. We're going to be put in situations that you're not going to tempt the Most High. You're not going to put yourself in that intentionally. The Most High, he's going to put you in there, and that's where your faith actually shines, man. That's where it matters, because it's not scripted. You see? So we're going to be like, yeah, you might have to run out the house and go, you know, grab groceries, go grab this or that. Okay. All I'm saying is you should be smart about it. The time of day. Maybe you go early when, you know, everyone's still hungover and they're not on the road, they're still sleeping in. Rather than waiting, you know, and then going in the prime traffic hours. A lot of times you can go on your Google Maps and it'll show you the busiest times of the day for that business. So you can avoid going in the peak hour. It'll show you when the most traffic is heavy. So you can, like, the technology is there for you to use it in the information age if you're using it for information. But a lot of us don't know how to really use these tools and devices for information. And that's why the scripture in the Apostle Bar, you know, always harp on edification. Edification. Let all things be done decently in order, but hey, let it be to edification. To edify means to build up. All right, so here it is. We have this power, we have this ability, but how are you using that power and ability? You look at superheroes, right? How are they using their abilities and their powers? Were they using them sparingly as needed, as required? Using the world as not abusing it, using the world of superpowers but not abusing it? But then those that would abuse it, that was the villain, that was the evil one, right? So discretion is key. You know, intention is key. Usage is key.
This is Matthew 4:7. It says, Yahweh saith unto him, it is written again, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God.
So there's a balance, man. And that's one thing you notice with a lot of these groups is they'll harp on one scripture and then forget about the balance of everything else. And then you got the flesh to factor in. When you're dealing with your flesh, you know, you want to get, you know, you'll get carnal, you'll get weak, this, that, third. The thing that helps combat the flesh is time. Being able to catch yourself and say, okay, let me slow this down. Let me you know, take a couple hours, days, or weeks, or maybe even months or years to get this problem solved or fixed, depending on whatever it is, man. So there's a balance. The Most High runs with checks and balances, man. And this place, America, is run its course without checks and balances. It's unchecked. It's unbalanced. And you look at the debt clock. It's steadily going up. Steadily going up. There's no way to fix it other than to wipe the debt and say fuck it. But America owes other people money. Partly why it wants to get resources from everyone else, because if it control their resources, look, you know, they'll barter with them on their own shit. You know, all it is a power grab between Edom and Edom, America and Russia, Edom and Edom, on who's going to be the biggest, you know, police officer. You got the sheriff department. You know, it's super troopers. It's the local PD versus the highway patrol, man. That's all it is. And we're just looking at the shenanigans like, you guys are stupid. You're wasting your time.
This is back in Micah 2:2. It says, and they cover fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage.
The thief cometh not but to steal, kill, and destroy, man. And this oppressor, Edom, Esau, what has he done? He's just come to oppress us, take away a man's house, his heritage. That's why we don't even know the diet. The original diet of our people, man. You got to look at a Mediterranean diet to get an idea on what it was that we actually used to eat. You got to read the scriptures to know that, okay, our people were into wine, into lamb, you know, roasted meats, even stews, you know, flat breads, you know, little things here and there give us clues. But look, we're not going to know anything really until we get our kingdom back. You know? You good?
No, we're good. It said I had 5%. I'm at 34%. I'm like, that code is fucking with it.
Yeah, the cold, yeah. The cold for one, and then just whatever your battery habits are. You know, if you plug it in, where do you start? You know, whatever the
I plug it in when it's red, when it says it needs to be charged.
So that's probably good. I mean, yeah, it's technology. You know, like I was doing this survey and they're asking about you know, do you like to buy quality products that like last a long time? It's like, well, fuck yeah, like, duh. You know, you don't want to buy shit that's cheap. And there was this video, they put it out in like, I think, I don't know, maybe like the 60s, 70s, 50s, but it was basically marketing to the Negro. And the guy is telling you, like, look, don't talk about politics, religion, or race. You know, the Negro, he just wants to buy something. If he's asking you for a product, sell it to him. He has the money. He's buying. He wants to buy a quality product because he's like, you know, he's thinking, oh, I bought this last time. It's a really good, you know, hat, or this is my grandfather's hat. It's a really good hat. So I'm gonna stay with that company. I'm only gonna buy their products because it's a trusted brand. It's a trusted company. And you look around, really, what's Judah always buying when it comes to vehicles? Shit that their grandfathers would drive, that their parents would drive, that all-American shit, you know? Because, oh, this is a good car, this is, you know, work on it. What was that one boxer that made the Crescent Wrench? Jack Johnson. What do you think he was driving? Edomite shit, you know? And so everyone gets into that spirit, you know? But this oppressor is coming, he's taking away our heritage in our house, man. So we don't even know. But this devil, he's got it all. He's got his own heritage, his own house. A man without rules and laws, he's been able to create his own world. This is his world, man. We're just living in it.
This is Isaiah 24 and 6. It says, therefore hath the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left.
You see? The inhabitants are burned, man. Few men left. when there's few men left, that means that society is going to take a while to bounce back. Human population is going to take a minute. Because you can get a woman pregnant today, you're not going to have any results for about 9 to 10 months. 9 to 10 moons. Okay, depending on the cycle and all that other shit. So it's going to be a while. And then just because she has a child, if it lives, if it's born properly, then you got to wait another, what, 12 years until, you know, he could even get a stab at, you know, creating some people. So you're looking at about, you know, 12 years at a time to create people. That's a timely process, man. It's like planting a tree and hoping for fruit. You put the seed in, all right, give me fruit. Now it's going to take time. It's going to take time to grow and to start budding and producing fruit. It's going to need to get pollinated. Okay? So these things take time. So the Most High, He's going to destroy a large population of people. So few men left. The earth would be burned with fire, man, and few men would be left. So it doesn't matter how many women there are, you know, because you'll run out of juice. In these bodies, as a man, you'll run out of juice. Start giving them ghost loads. There's no kids, man, you know? So even you have a limit to what you can put out in these bodies. You know, even in the kingdom, you're not going to be able to be having kids all day. That's an improper balance. You're not just going to be able to walk around in your castle all day with just women coming in and out. There's only so many women. You got to share those with other brothers, man. Like, you can't have them all. So there's a limit. There's a moderation. We're going to have that perfect balance in everything in the kingdom, man. You know?
Whatever that was. Did you want something?
Hey, well, with that, we're going to wrap it up. Give all praise to the Most High, YAHAWAH,
Bashim, Yasai, Bashim, Kadash.
Until next time, Shalom.
Shalom.